We are talking about the culture of scalability and growth. Now, this idea has changed quite significantly over a period of time. Earlier, it was more about the capital deployed, the machines, the materials that had to be squeezed to generate a profit. You may remember the classic by Charlie Chaplin, Modern Times, in which Charlie is continuously tightening the nuts on an assembly line. He was completely driven. He was almost part of the machine. He was not doing any driving by himself at all. In contrast, in today's information age, companies are nothing but the people and their ideas. How these ideas are generated, how they are successfully executed are big differentiators for any company, especially startups. Now, the CEO does not have monopoly on all the ideas. The CEO, in fact, hires his or her teams for their brains and their ideas. So then it does not make sense for the CEO to tell them how to do things. So the best chance for companies to succeed is to let people generate ideas and let them drive them themselves. If that is done, then you also get very engaged and enthusiastic employees, which is another differentiator for successful companies. Now, what do I mean by this culture of self-driving? By that, I mean a culture of allowing for mistakes, even failures, then learning and correcting. Sometimes managements may think that they can help prevent these mistakes by guiding the teams, but that has a flip side. It can easily curb the initiatives of the teams, and that is a long-term negative. The guidance should come from objectives. All leaderships have their objectives, which are derived from organizational goals. The best way for leaders is to hire people on their team who are aligned with those objectives and not hire those who are not aligned with those objectives. That way, they don't even have to do any motivating later on because now the purposes are also aligned. These objectives are what I call the what, and companies will certainly keep checking for the what. The self-driving comes from the how. The thesis here is that once the what is agreed upon, the employees are better off on the how than even the bosses. It goes without saying that I have considered the companies have the guardrails in place for such things as the legal and moral and ethical issues. I will talk about how it works for companies, employees, and the work itself. For the companies, it is not just the higher chance of success in business, it is also the retention and engagement of self-driving employees. For the employees, it is professional growth. Once they have mastered the how and hence achieved the what, self-driving employees would convert that what into a how for a next higher level what, and so on and so forth. This is just an unstoppable professional growth path. For the work itself, how it gets done better, I'll give an example of the Apple stores. Just 1 week before the launch of the Apple stores, the senior vice president of retail operations, Ron Johnson, approached Steve Jobs and said, our stores are organized like a retail shop around product lines such as iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple Watch. If our business is organized around activities such as movies and music, our stores should also be organized around movies and music. You won't believe, but they delayed the launch of Apple stores for this change. But it is this move that created the Apple stores that we know and we love. Moral of the story, if a business creates such kind of self-drivers, they create a perpetual cycle of success for themselves.